Hey guys, I'm all back again. Welcome to day 61 in the life of the Galaxy S23. Today I'm going to talk about 4G and how it impacts battery life. Yesterday I made a video on 5G. I walk you through a day in the life there. And 5G lasted me about 12 and a half hours or so on battery life. But I'll walk you through day 61, let you know how I use my phone. And if you stay to the end of the video, you'll find out how much of a difference it really makes. So day 61, I woke up at roughly 6 a.m. in the morning. I walked over to Shaw's, do some grocery shopping before work. Then I went into my setting, turned off 5G at about 99%. Today's going to be all 4G, no Wi-Fi or anything like that. And when I got back home, I pretty much just work at my desk. And out of habit, I tend to always put my phone on a wireless charger because it's right at my desk and it's super convenient for me while I'm working. But for the sake of battery tests, I did leave it on the side and try to refrain from using the wireless charger just for science purposes. But on a normal day, I'll just leave it on the wireless charger since it is right there and super convenient. 9:30 in the morning, my phone is at 82%. Saw an article of how the Pixel 6a is going to get 20 watt fast charging and 5 watt wireless charging. Any improvement is always appreciated year to year. I believe last year the Pixel 6a does not have wireless charging, but now it does. Even at 5 watt, I think it's fine. Even the current charger that I'm using at my desk, Samsung does support up to 15 watt fast charging. I don't want to spend $50 for a wireless charger just to get that little benefit. So the current charger that I have, I believe, is only about 5 watt. But if I'm sitting at my desk for 8 hours a day working, it doesn't really bother me. And eventually, if it charge, you get a few percentage here and there. It's not going to be life-changing. So really no rush for me. And I do have a 25 watt fast charging cable right next to it. If I really want to charge it and I need that extra fast speed in a time crunch, I can just plug it in. We're definitely looking forward to the Pixel 7a. Looks like it's going to be announced in about a week. I assume it's going to be available the week after, so I'm going to keep my eye out on that and switch back to the Google Pixel. I actually started doing my daily vlog series with the Google Pixel 7. That was a pretty big hit, so I continued that series with various different phones. Without one issue I do want to point out last year when I was using the Google Pixel 6a is the memory management tend to be very aggressive. If I'm switching between games, the game would often restart, so that is super annoying. So if I'm in the middle of playing a game and then I switch to a texting app just to answer somebody, then I switch back to my game, then I gotta wait for the game to restart. Hopefully they will find a way to fix that this time around, but we shall wait and see. 10:06 a.m. I was sifting through Reddit and someone was asking about the display mode. I actually never really thought about it. I just always left it as a default mode. Mine is at vivid. Maybe from all the time I just always had it at vivid, or I might have changed it at some point or another. Since I switched from so many different phones, especially from Galaxy to Galaxy, all my settings just transfer over. I don't really need to do much. By default, I always had it at vivid. I think vivid actually looks cooler and brighter. It's just more, I don't know, I like the pop in color. The natural look tend to look very bland and pale. Who knows? I feel like your eyes do adjust over time, so I just left a comment for this guy. And I actually did end up switching to natural mode since it's been brought to my attention. We'll see if the combination of natural mode and 4G is gonna have a huge impact on battery life by the end of the video. I would think it might help the battery a little bit. Vivid seems very bright and poppy versus natural. It tends to go for the more natural look, but we shall see. Maybe it doesn't have any impact at all, but just thought that was interesting and wanted to point it out. And if you guys are still interested in Galaxy S23, it is on sale on Amazon for $700 for the 128GB model, so that's $100 off the list price. Samsung phone tends to go on sale pretty often, and when it does, I do like to point it out. And if you want the bigger model, which is the Plus, their list price is $1,000, but now it is on sale for $850, so 15% off there. So the Plus and the regular model is basically the same phone. With the Plus, you're just getting a bigger display, faster charging, a bigger battery, but essentially they all have the same processor and everything else is almost identical. You do get UFS 4.0, so maybe a slight bump in performance there, but not a huge world of differences. But worth considering if you guys are still in the market for a new phone. I did leave the link in the description if you don't mind clicking at that. And if you do purchase through it or just read around, it does help the channel. We got some blurry watermelon shot on the Galaxy S23. And one of my friends recently bought the Galaxy S23 and had to break it to her that it does have the banana-shaped blurry issue. She was still in denial and was very adamant that she wanted to send me a picture of her cat, thinking it is a beautiful photo. So here's the photo. So at a quick glance, it looks great. Cat looks fine, but if you look at it in closer detail, you will notice that the left side is more focused, the right side is a little bit out of focus, and in addition to that, the bottom of the cat between his two legs, that area does look blurry. So it is a great phone. If you're glancing at it, it looks fine, but at the end of the day, you're still getting a blurry cat. It's okay to love Samsung phone, but also acknowledge the flaws as well. No phone is perfect, but people are going to believe what they believe. At the end of the day, my goal is just try to educate people about the pros and cons of each phones out there. If they want to fight me, then they can fight me. I'm the biggest Samsung fan myself, so I have no problem with hyping them up or bashing them for their flaws. But you know, the first step is just to always acknowledge the problem. But it all depends on how you use your phone. Some people like to take up close photos of their cats, babies, receipt, food. Other people don't take pictures at all, or they just take faraway pictures, so that it's not going to bother them. So just got to take everything into consideration. For lunch, we got some ribs. This photo is okay, I guess. Maybe you stare at it closely, you will notice that the tomato in the right hand corner is slightly out of focus, but no big deal. Spent the rest of the day working, then I went over to my mom's house for dinner. Recorded a Snapchat of this Yuffie robot. And by 7 p.m. my phone is at 16%. Usually I like to record my battery usage at 15%, but close enough, I'm about to hit the road. I do want to plug it in, make sure that it has battery. So overall today I got 13 hours of battery life, started my day at 6 a.m. 13 hours of battery life. So when I was using 5G, I still think I got about 12 hours of battery life. With 4G, I'm getting closer to 13 hours. So depending on the usage, I did have it on a wireless charger at some point while I was driving, but the GPS was on. So in theory, you get anywhere from maybe 30 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on how you use your phone. We'll get a slight bump in battery life there. 4 hours of screen on time as well, compared to the usual 3.5 screen on time with 5G. And it all varies on the day. Maybe I used my phone half an hour more yesterday compared to today. But in general, you will see a little bit of a bump, but not a big increase. So there you have it. This wraps up day 61 in the life of the Galaxy S23. Let me know if you guys find this video to be helpful. And if you haven't already, please check out my day 60 video where I talk about my 5G experience and the battery life there. Thanks for watching. As usual, remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.